Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to study a topic in biology known as biological associations. Biological association deals with ways living things relate with one another in their environment. There are living things that relate with one another in a beneficial way, while some relationships among living organisms are not beneficial to them. So we are going to study this topic with questions and answers for a better understanding. The first question we have here says, plants and animals are naturally engaged in mutualism because A. They utilize respiratory waste of each other. B. They are neighbors. C. They are rivals. D. All animals depend on food produced by plants. In this question, the correct answer is A. They utilize respiratory waste of each other. Mutualism is a type of association between two organisms in which both of them benefit from each other. So naturally, plants and animals benefit from each other in the sense that they utilize their respiratory waste. The next question says, which of the following is an example of parasitism? A. Mistletoe growing on an orange tree. B. Fungi growing on a dead tree branch. C. Cattle egret taking ticks from the body of the cattle. D. A squirrel living in an abandoned nest of a bird. In this question, the correct answer is A. Mistletoe growing on an orange tree. Parasitism is a type of association between two organisms in which the organism known as parasites benefit from the second organism called the host and causes harm to the second organism. So studies have shown that this organism known as mistletoe is a parasite, but it's a plant parasite and it can grow on an orange tree. So what it does in orange tree, or what it does on an orange tree, is that as it grows on that orange tree, it will be causing harm. It will be taking some nutrients from the orange tree, thereby causing harm to the plants. So the relationship between mistletoe and orange tree is a parasitic relationship, and that association is what we call parasitism. The next question says, the association between shark and remora fish is a typical example of dash. A. Symbiosis. B. Commensalism. C. Predation. D. Parasitism. In this question, the correct answer is B. Commensalism. Commensalism is a type of association between two different organisms in which one of the organisms known as commensal benefits from the second organism but does not cause any harm to the second organism. And studies have shown that there is an organism called shark, and we also have another organism known as remora fish. These two organisms live in water, but the bigger organism called the shark carries remora along as it moves in the water. But this remora fish benefits from the shark in the sense that it feeds from the food that is left by the shark, but it doesn't cause any visible harm to this shark. So because of the fact that this remora fish does not cause any harm to this shark, but it benefits from it, this type of association is what we call commensalism. The next question says, the thallus of a lichen consists of dash. A. A virus and a fungus. B. Algal cells and fungi hyphae. C. Bacterial and fungal cells. D. Nematode and virus. In this question, the correct answer is B. Algal cells and fungi hyphae. Studies have shown that there is an organism called lichen, And this leaf chain has two organisms residing in it. These two organisms are alga and fungus. And these alga and fungus in leaf chain maintain a relationship that is beneficial to both of them. So the thallus of a lichen consists of algal cells and fungi hyphae or partner. The next question says, an association between two organisms in which both of them benefit from each other is called dash. A. Symbiosis. B. Antibiosis. C. Parasitism. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Symbiosis. So symbiosis is a type of association between two different organisms in which both of them benefit from each other. The next question says, a bacterium that maintains a symbiotic relationship with a leguminous plant is called dash. A. Rhizobium leguminosarum. B. Salmonella typhi. C. Vibrio cholerae. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Rhizobium leguminosarum. Research have shown that there is a bacterium that lives in the root nodules of a legume or a leguminous plant, and this bacterium is called Rhizobium leguminosarum. What this bacterium do is that this bacterium helps in converting atmospheric nitrogen directly to nitrate so that plants can make use of that nitrogen in form of nitrate. So this bacterium maintains a symbiotic relationship with leguminous plants in the sense that the bacterium is benefiting from the leguminous plant and the leguminous plant is benefiting from the bacterium. The leguminous plants benefit from the bacterium because the bacterium provides nitrogen for the legume, and this Rhizobium leguminosarum benefits from leguminous plants because the leguminous plants provide shelter and food for this bacterium. So this relationship, or the relationship between these two organisms is a symbiotic relationship. The next question says, a dash relationship is one in which one member of the association benefits. A. Parasitic. B. Symbiotic. C. All of the above. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Parasitic. So a parasitic relationship is one in which one member of the association benefits. The one member that we are talking about here is the one called the parasite. We benefit from the one called host. We have already said some things concerning parasitic relationship. The next question says, tick feeds on dash. A. Blood. B. Water. C. Skin. D. Sand. In this question, the correct answer is A. Blood. So tick is an example of parasite that feeds on blood. The next question says, an association between two different species of organisms whereby one species is inhibited or killed with a chemical substance and the other remains unaffected is called dash. A. Antibiosis. B. Symbiosis. C. All of the above. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Antibiosis. This antibiosis is an association between two organisms whereby one of these organisms is inhibited or killed with a chemical, but the other organism that released the chemical is unaffected during this relationship. The next question says, which of the following is an example of antibiosis? A. Penicillium notatum and bacteria. B. Cattle and egrets. C. Alga and fungus in lichen. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Penicillium notatum and bacteria. Well, research have shown in microbiology that this organism known as Penicillium notatum produces a chemical substance called penicillin, and this chemical substance called penicillin has the ability of killing bacteria. So this relationship whereby an organism releases a chemical that kills another organism in the process, or that reduces the growth of another organism, is what we call antibiosis. And the relationship between these fungus known as Penicillium notatum and bacteria is an example of this antibiosis. The next question says, the bacteria in the large intestine of man receive food and protection from man, but man neither gain nor suffer any disadvantage from the bacteria. This type of association is called dash. A. Commensalism. B. Parasitism. C. Symbiosis. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Commensalism. We have said that commensalism is a type of association between two organisms in which one of the organisms benefits but does not cause any visible harm to the second organism. Scientists have done research and discovered that there are some bacteria that live in the large intestine of man. They live there, they don't cause any problem to man, but they are benefiting from man because man is providing protection to this bacteria, and they also depend on these bacteria get their food from the waste in that large intestine. So these bacteria are gaining from man, but man does not gain, but there is no visible harm that is caused to man. So this is a typical example of association known as commensalism. The next question says, which of the following is an example of predation? A. Hawk and domestic chicks. B. Cattle and egrets. C. Flowering plants and butterfly. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Hawk and domestic chicks. The word predation is a type of association between two organisms in which the organism known as the predator kills the weaker organism known as the prey and feed directly on it. So a good example of this predation is an association between hawk and domestic chick. The hawk feeds on domestic chick by killing the domestic chick. So in this case, the hawk is regarded as the predator and the domestic chick or chicks are regarded as the prey. So this relationship whereby the stronger organisms known as the predators kill and feed directly on the weak organisms known as the prey is best described as predation. If this is the first time you are watching our video, if this is the first time you are joining this channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. You can also drop comments with respect to this video so that we can attend to that.